I believe he continues to bless me, simply because I've experienced it myself. If I've done something that hasn't been righteous, isn't something that I shouldn't be doing, and the reflex, whatever happens later down the road, I mean, isn't what it should be. It's bad, right? And then when I do something good things happen.
It's true, isn't it? I mean, it's like, I love that, you know, that there you are being a blessing to others, and that one of the sayings that we have around here uses, what blesses one blesses all. And so when you're being a blessing, you can't help but be blessed yourself.
Yeah. I mean, my girlfriend and I, Vanessa, we love going to church, and it's unfortunate that we work Sundays because, I mean, the Life Center here at Spokane, that's something that always gets our week going, and so we love hearing it, we love being a part of it, but I mean, if it wasn't it's not up to me, it's up to God.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I really hear your willingness to be of service to others and to put yourself out there in whatever way is beneficial. Yeah. So you have your background in you're a licensed personal trainer, right?
As I'm certified.
Yeah, and in the little bit that we talked the other day, you were talking about you're taking classes, and can you talk a little bit about how did you get to this place, and what are you doing now?
Yeah. So, I mean, after high school, my plan was to, getting through high school, my plan was to go into the military, because that's all I thought that I would be kind of useful for. I wanted to make something out of myself, and I wanted that kind of structure.
Sure.
But I met my girlfriend and I ended up staying, right? And it was the best decision I could have ever made.
Yeah.
Best decision. During my high school career, I always had that service of helping people. I was in ROTC. I wanted to make sure that I could continue servicing people, so my plan was to ultimately become a police officer, and then maybe in the future a personal trainer, right? Then I had the opportunity of becoming a personal trainer, and
so you were on the sort of path to become a personal trainer. Were you involved in sports in high school? Were you athletic in high school?
Yeah, I played football, and then I was on the track team as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you had a lot of experience with training and that sort of thing. So then you became a personal trainer.
Yeah. And
did you start working for Muv Fitness right away, or did you work other places first?
It was right away. Right away. I mean, I guess where it came down to me becoming a personal trainer was simply because I know how health and fitness helped my life.
Yes.
Depression, anxiety, always stressful. I didn't really talk in high school with a lot of people, so I kept everything to myself. So how I released it was working out, and how that brought me up to where I am now. I mean, I know that it could do the same for other individuals.
Absolutely.
As well. And so continuing on with my education, I mean, my plan is to, get my exercise science degree. That's something that I want, so that way I do have credibility behind my name as well. And then continuing with the other certifications as well, as far as kettlebell, TRX, functional training, exercise correction, everything like that, I do want to incorporate as well.
So when you got your certification and then you started training people, was there a period of time that you were assigned people? How does that work?
So when you become a personal trainer, in the company of Muv Fitness, you go through a probation period of where you can't touch anyone until they feel comfortable and you acquire that kind of certification too. So that way, I mean, you're not going to hurt that client, right?
Got it.
So in the process of starting, you're shadowing most of the time, just learning what it takes to be a trainer, the ropes, and then as well as how to kind of promote yourself too, to kind of bring people in so that you could work with them. And once you go through that, then they start giving you individuals that don't have really big injuries, they don't have big limitations, but are just going for losing weight or gaining muscle. Okay, and then once your knowledge expands, once your education expands, and you feel comfortable, then you start talking to the fitness director about, okay, hey, maybe I could start taking people with rotator cuff injuries or with postural imbalances, anything like that. And then it's just basically based off how well you grow, and I mean, you tell them what you can work with, what you feel comfortable with, and then that's who.
So you've started to work more and more with those people who have more limitations, and then needing rehabilitation for injuries and things like that, like the woman that you described. And like I said, when I see you with clients, it seems like that a lot of the people that they have you or that you work with are people who are really struggling to just be functional in life, and that's extraordinary. I mean, that is just. I watch the because I think I know the woman you're talking about, and I've seen the progress that she's made in just a short time, and so when you get people and you move them in that way, what's that like for you?
It's gratifying. I mean, it's whether it's how much I get paid, how little I paid.
Yeah.
I love what I do.
Yeah.
And it's I mean, I've had someone lose 140 pounds in 6 months. I've had someone get off their anti-anxiety medication, antidepressant medication, and just say, thank you. You didn't give up on me. You helped me. Just those little things make me want to do what I want to do.
Yeah. And so has your focus now changed in terms of, you had talked about, maybe the military or being a police officer. Are those things that are still of interest to you, or are you now more focused on, I mean, because it seems to me like we all have a meant to be, and it seems like in some way or form or fashion, this is part of that for you.
I think this was my meant to be. I mean, ultimately, I would love to run a club because I could instill my passion, my commitment, my love for individuals into other trainers as well, and then they could do the same, while still me overseeing those people, those clientele, the trainers as well. So I mean, I think this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Oh, that's awesome! Isn't that funny? I mean, it may have seemed like it wasn't going to be something permanent, and yet then like those gifts start to shine.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, thank you so much. It's just a privilege to watch what you do with people.
Well, thank you.
I know that other people notice what's going on there, and it's pretty amazing.
When you approached me that one day, I see what you do, and it's completely made my week, honestly.
Oh, awesome.
Made my week.
Yeah, well, like I said, a lot of times I think we don't acknowledge sometimes, and so I really do want to acknowledge you that I can see the difference you're making, and obviously your clients do too, but it's not just, you're making a difference for your clients, but those people who see what you're doing, there's a ripple effect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And that's inspiring. So I just want to thank you for what you do and encourage you to keep doing it, because it's not just making a difference for you, it is, and the people you work with, but it's making a difference for the world.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's how we get this world that works for everyone, is you doing what you're doing.
Amen.
Yeah. So if people wanted to work with you, or they wanted to talk to you or get in touch with you, what would be the best way that you would like people to do that? We'll have your information on the episode, but what would you say to the person that would like to get in touch with you?
So I'll put my email on there, my social media connections as well, or contact. But then also, I work at the North facility for Muv Fitness, so calling that number.
And that's in Spokane, Washington.
And that's in Spokane, Washington. And then asking for the weekend fitness director down there, one of the managers. And then basically they'll get you scheduled in my book, or they'll have you come meet with me, and then we'll sit down, do our evaluation, our talk, and then we'll get you going.
Yeah, and there may be somebody who doesn't live in Spokane but would want to talk to you about what's going on for them in terms of their fitness.
Absolutely.
Are you open to that?
Yeah, absolutely. Over my email, 24 hours. 24 hours.
Fantastic. Well, appreciate you being on the show, and we
Thank
would love to check in with you and another time and have you back and see what's going on.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in, and join us next time where you get to meet another extraordinary person who's doing extraordinary good and spreading positivity. Thank you. We love you. We'll see you next time.